Hello, techies. How are you all? Hope you're doing good. This is Tony with another, tutorial with the continuation of my previous tutorials. So, if you didn't watch my previous videos, just do watch the videos to understand where we stand with this one. So, in my previous, sessions, I explained how the path variables and request params are going to be passed in the request level, how we grab the values from the request path and path variables also explained, right? So in this tutorial, I'm going to explain what is request body and response body annotations. So basically, these request body and response bodies, we always used it with the post method, HTTP post method and the put method. So what exactly this at the rate request body annotation stands with? At the rate request body annotation that exactly maps with HTTP request body. So HTTP request body, so that whatever you're passing through the HTTP endpoint, that's called HTTP request body. So in order to map this HTTP request body, you should, if you want to grab this HTTP request body which is coming through the HTTP endpoint or HTTPS endpoint, you should annotate with the request body in the controller method level. So that's need to be pointed or else mapped to be a domain object or else a Java object. We'll call it as Java object. So what exactly it means like? So you will have one controller method, with like you saw it with the get mapping, right? So we have a controller method. So as a parameters, you have to hold this. You have to annotate the request body in the parameter, and that's supposed to be corresponding Java object. That means a class need to be mapped with this request body. That will inject these values which is coming through the network, and it is going to convert that into Java object automatically. That's called request body. Okay. So whatever you're sending in JSON format or else like XML format, whatever request you pass through the HTTP request, that's need to be correspondingly mapped with the Java object. And coming to the response body, by default, the Spring Boot handles this response body. But if you are more specific, that response body content type supposed to be something like very precisely, like it should return the XML or it should return the JSON. Then you always need to annotate the method with the response body along with the content type you should mention it. So I'll show you that how response body and content types will work together. So the response body, if you're mentioning that you are saying that the controller method precisely like this content type need to be written out from the controller method. That's what you are saying to the Spring Boot. Okay. So let me write on some program. So in order to illustrate the program, I had created one poser class, poser class, which is having first name, last name, and address. In the first name, last name, when I say the poser class, this poser class supposed to be have a getter setter methods. Yes, I created a getter setter method for that, and I have created a control class with annotated with the rest controller as usual. So let me create one control method public string. For now, I'm just returning a public string and saying that a person example. Okay, it's not better naming convention, but for the demo, I'm just showing that request body annotation comes over here. And as for the definition, like request body need to be mapped with the Java object, right? So my Java object is nothing but person. So the person is a model class. It is I'm saying that the Spring Boot, hey, I'm just annotating with the request body, and whatever request comes through the HTTP request, map that HTTP request with this person Java object. That's what it's all about. Okay. So let me import the request body. It comes with the bind annotation and person import person. Okay. There was a shortcut if you wanted to import it automatically. Like for Windows, it is like Control Shift O, or for Mac, it's like Shift Command O. Okay, so those importations will automatically import it. Next is like it's going to return some string return time. So for now I'm returning some string and saying that, hey, this is post method returning returning person details, right? So saying that I want to say personal details, person name equals to, why not I can use this one like this, person name equals to person dot get first name and person dot last name, sorry, last name. Last name from address equals to, hope you are able to see my screen. Let me maximize it. We'll say person dot get address, right? Okay. So as you see that I'm just trying to bind my HTTP request with annotated with the request body and to the Java object called person, and this is the reference. I'm just grabbing the values which is coming through the HTTP request. What are the JSON key value pairs you're setting up in the Postman tool? So I wanted to grab and display or in the return value. So what it's like, we should annotate one more post mapping, since we're doing the post mapping here, and this time comes with value. So for the value, you should pass the this one, the endpoint, and what it produces. As I said, like it's supposed to produce. If you want to explicitly set the return type for this method. If you wanted to set some saying the Spring Boot like, hey Spring Boot, just return a JSON, just produce a XML format, JSON format, string format, whatever you want to do. So you are setting that you are restricting the Spring Boot to return some certain response out of this controller method, right? So in my case, produces equals to. So what exactly you should using media type dot all value. For now, for I'm using all values, but if you really wanted to use it only the JSON, then you can go with the JSON value. So you see that the moment I put it won't accept. I'll show you that when I'm doing it. Let me annotate it with the response body, since we are using that, right? We should use the combination. So when I use the JSON, it will not allow me to use. You will always get an exception because my return type is string. So I can't use this one. So what I can use it like all value. If you're not sure about what kind of a response it's going to come out of this method, you can use the all value. Okay, it supports all the values. Yeah, our program is ready now. So this is a person. I added this person model class, and in the one of the controller with this one REST controller, everything set it ready. Let me start this program first time. Yeah, start it up, and you see that the first name, last name, address. Where you got these values, right? You always need to refer the model class which you created. All this is exactly match with these keys. This key is supposed to copy from here, and this key is supposed to copy from here. So this the variables which you have it here among the model class, that's supposed to be a key. And also, like when you want to send out the request using Postman, so you select the post. When you select the post, then in the body section there are form data, URL encoded, binary, and there is a raw. Right? Set the raw and make sure that you select the JSON object here. This is a JSON format, key value pairs. So if you're not familiar with the JSON request, just go through the website. There are plenty of websites and videos explaining about the JSON formatted request and all. Okay. So the moment I just kept this on, if I start clicking the send button, you'll see now. Hey, this is a post method returning person details. person named Tectoni from address something Vizera. Okay, so this is all about like how you hold a request body, how you are able to map the request body with the Java object. And also this is the same, you can use it for the post mapping. So there won't be any different if I put this now. So in the latter point of time when you're dealing with a JP repository or the database connectivity, then you see the difference between post mapping and put mapping. So that the put mapping also would be the exactly same and the way what we have declared for the post mapping. Yeah, so I'm gonna commit this code, and you can get this code from the GitHub repository, which is, I just put the GitHub repository repo details in the description box, and you can get that. And also, if you want this document, that is also presented in the GitHub repository. You can always get this from the GitHub repository. If you have any doubts, or you just post me the comments, and I'll try to explain that. In my next tutorial, I'm going to discuss about like validations part for the request parameters and path variables, and as well as the request body, how we validate it. So there are like plenty of annotations in the validation. Don't miss the session. So you'll keep, you will get some clarity how the validations works. After the validation, then we'll jump onto the service level layers and connecting to the backend. So there are a lot more to deals with the Spring Boot, but I'll explain you clearly what exactly we can deal with. So yeah, keep watching my channel. If you really like, hit the like button, subscribe. So just encourage me so that I can give you the more videos on the Spring Boot and everything. Hope you guys, interested in my next tutorials and next sections. Thanks for watching and stay tuned. See you guys later.